Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody sent me this JPEG, and at first, well, one, it's even CMYK, but we can readily fix that. But anyway, that's beside the point. And they want to know how you could draw this. And I kind of started doing some thinking about this, and this square is roughly 3 inches, and this is roughly a 1/4 inch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies of that same square. So let's take let's lock our ratio, and let's draw a 3 inch by 3 inch box. And let's change it to black. That doesn't really matter. Let's change it to 20 points. Let's go 25, make it a little thicker. I didn't hit OK. So I have to do it over. Let's go 25 again and hit OK. Now let's bring it in and just see how close the line thickness is. And then when I first opened this file, I thought, boy, it's a file already, but if you look really close, it's a little bit fuzzy, but it's really clear. So let's just take this, and I'm going to change my nudge distance, which I never hardly change, but 0.25. And I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. I'm going to move it down and over. Then Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. I think that's the same amount. So let's zoom in here. Let's get our virtual segment delete key and delete that and delete that. Now let's take this and group it together, Control G. Now Control D and make a duplicate of it. And whoop, I was holding down the Shift key. And then grab that, Control D, and move it down. Now first, well, there's crossbars in that one, in mine. So let's just see if we can delete those. There we go. So now we have a 6 inch box. So let's Control G and group it together. And let's set our nudge factor on 6 inches. And you could do this with step and repeat. Control D and make a duplicate. Let's see, there's 5 of them. Yep. And then Control D and make a duplicate this way. And voila. That's pretty close. It looks a little different, but it might just because it's sharper. Oh, and I needed to add one more block, look like. But that's how you would do it, and that's pretty good. And if you really back up from it, it almost makes your eyes dizzy, because what's all going on. And there's a lot more you could do with it. You could color in some of the lines, you know, because you'd want to do that beforehand, but you could smart fill like every other line. And then you could have duplicated that over, and you'd have a totally different look. You could actually even maybe fill in the center, but you'd want to do that last after you duplicate it, because we created the center from the other part. And you know what, we could actually do that real quick, because of the fact that the other parts were locked together. So I'm going to Control G and lock it, Control D and make a duplicate, move it over, Control D and make a duplicate, grabbing that handle and the 2-point line. And there you have that exact same thing. And I don't think it doesn't look as cool, but you could have done that and still had some of those lines intersecting. You know what, if we group this together, Control G, maybe we could put it on top. And you ought to be able to snap right. Whoop, I moved the box. And that's a problem with this is not grouped together. So let's Control G and group that together. Make sure we have snap to object on, we do. And this should be able to snap right to that corner. if you got it close enough. Yeah, the other way looks a lot better without. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and thank you for watching.